Oun Abbas Hussain here, 4 seconds out, here with Dennis the Menace McCann. Dennis, Wayne done. You look happy, you got a smile on your face.
I'm happy.
You must have had a nice, lovely meal. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, just still rehydrating. I'm feeling really, really good for ahead tomorrow. I'm probably a lot heavier. Gained a lot more muscle since then, but it's all good, it's all good.
Listen, you were supposed to be out in October, I think it was, and your opponent Pedro Mantos pulled out at that point.
Yeah.
At that time, what was going on through your head? Because it didn't happen, you know, there was a lot of things going on in your life at that time as well. But I'm sure for any fighter, when an opponent can't be replaced, it's difficult.
Of course it is, but listen, if you asked me this question a year ago, I would have been really upset. I would have been probably really broke down. But it's part of the game. It's part of the journey. It's another box ticked. I know what to expect. What can happen? Like tomorrow now, your opponent can pull out again. It's just the way it works, isn't it? So I had 2 back-to-back camps. The last one for no reason. So I've had 3 altogether. You know what I mean? So, but it's boxing, and probably a good reason for it.
Let's talk about your opponent, Pedro Matos. Both of you guys sort of faced off today, got to see each other. You were just pointing at him saying, I'm number one, I'm number one.
He knows.
And you know, and you've been saying this for a long time. It's not just that you're out weighing and you call yourself number one. You've been saying for a long time, listen, I'm ready, but there's got to be progression. Number one, man, talk to me about how quick or, you know, how quick do you want to get to this number one spot of yours?
Listen, I can get there now if I want to. I really, really believe that. I think I can beat all the guys now. But it's just, I'm 19 years old. I'm still a young kid. You know what I mean? So I'm a kid in the boxing game. So I'm developing power. I'm maturing more into a man. And I think Matos is a tough kid. He's fought for the European title, and he lost by a point or 2 to Casey Gademi. You know what I mean? So close fight you have with Casey Gademi. I know Sonny Edwards done a good job on him. But I think he ain't a bad kid. He's strong. He's game. He'll come. And the knockout comes, which I'm 95% sure it will. I'm just going to stick to me boxing. I've got power in both hands. I can punch with both hands. I've stopped someone with a body shot, a head shot, left, right hands. You know what I mean? So I've ticked boxes again. There's another box going to be ticked. And you can come at me as much as you want.
Listen, how important is it to have a good coach? You know, Alan Smith, someone who's quite well known in British boxing. You know, had a lot of great fighters in the past and carries on with great fighters. Even at the weigh-in today, he corrected the sort of weight mistake that they made. He went up and he corrected. So he's very experienced, very knowledgeable. How good is it to have someone like that as part of your...
I can't forget my team as well. Eddie Lamb and Paul Taylor is a very big part of my team. But it's very, very... It's quite a big thing because we could have walked away thinking I weighed bloody 8 stone 9 or so and a half. Bloody hell. I don't think I've ever even weighed that enough. But... He knows his job. He's very good at it. He's trained some good champions, and he knows that I'm the best kid he's ever trained. And he sees the fires in my eyes. I'm the first person in that gym, without a doubt. I'm not just saying this because there's a camera here. He asked him behind me back. I'm the last one out of there, without a doubt. I train for 3 hours, 4 hours sometimes. I can't get enough of the gym, to be honest. I know what I want in life, and I've been the same since I'm 11 years old. I live in the countryside. And the nearest train station, which my dad used to bring me to, was 15 miles away. So I had to drive near enough 35 minutes to the train station alone, 3 hours to the gym from bloody Brackley I was staying in, and then got from Banbury to the station, to Marylebone to Liverpool Street to Bethnal Green. I should travel probably 4.5 hours a day there, 4.5 hours back, like including the drive there. You know what I mean? So I've been dedicated since I'm a baby, literally a baby. This is all I know, and I'm gonna show it tomorrow night. I have so much fire in me. I want to hurt someone. That's what.
Just don't hurt me, man. Just don't. Listen, you know, in regards to that, I spoke to a few fighters. I spoke to Tommy Fury quite recently, and he goes that, you know, people don't see the sort of the non-glamorous side of boxing where we're in a bus stop when it's raining. We've got a bag. We've barely got £2 in our bank accounts at that time. You know, and we're doing this graph, but nobody sees that. Nobody sees all of that. They see you guys on BT Sport in your fancy shorts in the ring with the crowd, you know, buzzing. But a boxer's life is difficult.
Of course it is. But listen, there's boxers' lives and there's my life. I'm telling you, to get where I am today, I don't think I'll do it again. To get where I am today, I won titles every single year as an amateur and stuff as well. And making weight, I've often, as an amateur, it ain't as professional as it is now. Bloody in saunas and stuff as an amateur, all that carry on, not rehydrating properly, very, very dangerous, very dangerous. I've often fought in the ring with an empty tank. I was empty, and I had, you know what I mean, I was still stopping kids and stuff. So now that I'm doing the weight properly, I'm on weight probably a week before a fight, you know what I mean, I'm doing everything properly, professional. My dad built me a gym years ago, and all I used to do was train day in, day out. If I went out with my mates, which is very rare, if I got back at 12 o'clock, I was my own man, my dad wasn't too strict on me. I'll be on that road, put my training gear on, I'll be on that road running.
Would you have it any other way though? You know, your childhood, you maybe not spending as much time with your friends or putting all that shift in, but would you have it any other way? I know you're a boxing man and you're talking like a pure boxer.
I wouldn't, because it makes me feel humble now. I've been there with no money in my pocket, stabbing with hunger. I used to work as well. I used to work. Never mind the journey, I used to work as well and then do that journey. So, as a roofing with my dad and that. But I got to thank my dad probably for the situation I'm in now. I wouldn't be there without him. He believed me since day one. He made me believe in myself. Listen, I wouldn't mention no names, but I'm sparring people. I'm hitting them that hard in their own gyms that they can't find the changing rooms. That's with 14, 16 ounce gloves on, you know what I mean? So I'm starting to develop some power. And I've got to show it tomorrow. Listen, it's no good talking, is there? You've got to show it in the ring, that's it.
You've got a different challenge in life now. You're obviously married, and in the future, you know, you might have a family. So it's sort of your priority now, it might be changing. You've got missus to look after.
Yeah.
You've got other things to do. So now it's a different step in life.
Yeah, of course it is. Listen, I've got a very, very good woman in my life as well, which a man needs. So, which is very important. And she's part of the journey. When I'm feeling tired, she brings me to the gym and stuff. She's a critical part of me of my life. And listen, my dad's gone away now to America. He's gonna miss me fight Friday. But listen, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. I went to Russia by myself and I fought a Russian in front of a thousand Russians. You know what I mean? I fought. There's 1,000 of his fans, not one of my fans. It don't bother me. Don't bother me.
Let's talk about Pedro Matos, somebody who's been on BT Sport, somebody who we know fighting on Frank Warren shows. He's fought Sonny Edwards. Sonny beat him quite well, but then Casey Kademi. That was a tough fight. That was a tough fight for Casey. Just about nicked it.
Close fight.
It was a close fight. You know that this is probably going to be the toughest test so far of your professional career.
Of course, he's got a decent record. It was 10-8 or something like that. I don't know, something like that anyway. And listen, I respect Matos. I respect him as a fighter. He's come over from his own country, from Portugal. And he's a tough cookie. He's no fool. So. And he's nice. Listen, he's a nice guy. He is a nice guy. He sounds like a nice guy. But when I met him and we fist bumped and stuff, he sounds like a civil fella. So, but tomorrow there's no Mr. Nice Guy, and I'm in there to do a job, and that's it.
Listen, when your name gets mentioned, there's a lot of noise now behind your name. You know, Frank Warren says you're an exciting talent. You're producing these knockouts. You've got dynamite in your hands. But how do you sort of keep yourself together and just not let all that outside distraction get to you?
So as I said, I've been there. I've been there with no money in my pocket. You know what I mean? Like, I've been there, mate. I'm telling you, I've been hungry. I've worked hard. I'm working all day with my dad and then going boxing from there and stuff. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. My dad was very good to me all my life. Very good to me. I had plenty of everything, but I know the hardship, and I wouldn't be where I am today if I never went through that. I'm a humble person. I'm very humble. And the fans like me. Proofs in the pudding. I'm a bantamweight. Who's the last bantamweight you've ever seen stopping everyone the way I am? And when I step up with opponents, I'll stop even better knockouts. You know what I mean? So someone who's game tomorrow, you probably see a bigger shot coming in and probably hurting them a lot more than I am with these other guys. You
talk about opponents. Generally, you struggle to get opponents. That's been the case for yourself. So you've got to give Pedro Matos his sort of due as well.
Yeah,
he stepped up. Fair enough, in October, something happened there.
Yeah, probably, I guarantee there's a good reason for it. He's got a family at home as well, so on COVID, you don't want to risk his family's life, so I understand.
Yeah, so what do you make of the bantamweight scene at the moment domestically?
Domestically, it's very good domestically. He's got Kat Farouk, you got Liam McGregor, you got Liam Davis, who's won the English title. I mean, he was a decent kid. But to be honest, listen, I really believe I can beat all of them now. But it's about taking me time. I'm young, as I said already. Take title by title. I've got to listen to Frank. Frank knows what he's doing. He's been around the job for years. MDK know what they're doing. They've been around the job for years. My trainer Alan Smith, Nelly Lamb, my full team know what they're doing. So just take our time in it, get the experience. Another box will be ticked tomorrow now when someone wants to put on me. We'll see how I deal with the pressure, innit?
Actually, Cash Farouk, Lee McGregor, probably the top two, and they had the fight, and Cash sort of came up short. I think a lot of people had Cash winning that. Lee sort of just nicked it. It was a very close fight.
Personal opinion, I didn't think Cash just nicked it, but
it looks like that rematch might happen next year. How do you see that one playing out between them two?
I'm not too sure. I think right now Lee McGregor's on a different path. He's gone for the European title, which I think he will win. I think it's just a close fight again. It's gonna be a very close one. And obviously, Farouk's gonna be very hungry to get that victory in it. So I don't know. I'm gonna sit in the fence in that one. I'm not sure.
How long before you sort of mix your name into the top 2, 3?
12 months. 12 months maximum. I'll be mixing my name. I'll be fighting for titles. My next fight after this will be for a title straight away. And I'll be mixing my names with them guys. They'll be avoiding me in 12 months' time. I'll be much bigger. I'll be much stronger again. I'm maturing into a man. I've still got a kid's body. You know what I mean? So I'll be getting avoided a lot more than I am now.
And just final 2 questions for myself. First of all, last weekend, massive fight in regards to Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce. We know that Joe won that, produced a great job throughout the night, beat Daniel. Daniel went down on one knee, and this whole thing sort of broke out on social media. People calling him a quitter. There's a lot of people defending him and showing support. But what do you make of this quitter label when somebody's in that injury where he could have potentially blinded them?
Listen, he's a young man. He's 23 years of age. He'll come again, which I'm sure he will. And I don't think he quit, to be honest with you. You can't call him a quitter. Any man that gets in that ring is also a big pair of balls, put it that way. And I just he got beat. The better man won the night, Joe Joyce, which is a very good fighter, and surprised a lot of people, didn't he? He surprised a lot of people. I don't think he's a quitter. He's a young man. He's got one more shot in that eye. What if he got blind for life? His career's over, isn't it? So he still can come back, and we'll see how he will come back. As a true champion.
What do you make of fighters that say, you know what, I'd rather die in the ring?
I would rather die in the ring, personally. But I ain't had an eye like that before, have I? You know what I mean? I ain't had an eye like that. No one knows the pain he was going through. And he was in the hospital. You know what I mean? The doctors said it was critical. So I just maybe did do the right thing. Oh, sorry.
Just final one then. On the same night, you guys are fighting in America. There's a big fight: Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia. Errol Spence just come back from a car crash. Not just coming back, actually a while back, but the first fight back. What do you make of that? Because that's a tough fight for him to come back to.
Listen, he's a true champion. Again, he's taking a big fight straight away, no warm-ups. But I'm still backing Errol Spence, even though Garcia is a great fighter. I'm a fan of Errol Spence, and I think he'll come up close, but I think he'll win that fight.
Dennis, for all the fans that can't come on Saturday night, I know you bring a big crowd normally. What do you want to say to the fans tuning in to BT Sport?
I'll say a massive thank you for tuning in to everyone. Spend your hard-earned money to watch me box, and I'm sure I'll entertain you as usual.
Dennis McCann, thank you very much for talking to Seconds Out. Top man.